Welcome to another episode of the Midnight Reviews presented here by Glasshouse Films. As you can tell, it's probably not midnight around these parts right now. That's because we're at a special press screening for Let's Be Cops.
Yeah.
New comedy about two guys who become fake cops.
Yeah.
Looks hilarious to me. How about you? All right. I don't know. I'm excited for it. Yeah.
I hope they don't do the stupid comedy movie thing that all comedy movies do where they tell the best jokes in all of the commercials.
Yeah, luckily I saw like one trailer for this probably 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So I don't remember. I do remember laughing at the trailer. But
that could be a good sign.
Yeah.
Could be a bad sign.
Yeah. All right, let's go be critics.
Yeah.
This year,
for the past couple of weeks, we've been pretending to be cops.
Oh, what do we have here? Oh, marijuana.
Officer, this is...
Oh, that's ripping.
Thank you.
Damn!
It started off just as fun.
Which one of you little pricks asked me what I do all day?
He's a cop, Ron. He ain't shit.
Fuck you, Ron.
Now we've gotten in over our heads. I gotta tell you something. I'm not a cop, okay?
I am a cop. Holy fuck, I'm a cop.
Let's Be Cops.
These guys are a couple of real jokers.
And we're back. So we just got out of that film, and Adam, don't drop that thumpina. All right, so yeah, we just got out of Let's Be Cops, and this is our first comedy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Damn, first comedy.
Yeah.
All right, so Adam, what did you think?
Well, I was very surprised at how good it was.
Yeah.
It was a great film. Typically, not a huge fan of the whole comedy movie thing. I love comedy like TV shows because they don't have to be that progressive with the story. They can focus more on the comedy aspect of it.
Yeah.
But this one had like an interesting story, interesting enough anyways to keep me in there the whole time while remaining pretty funny.
Yeah.
It was a pretty funny film.
So, if you couldn't tell, this film is about two 30-year-old men who their lives, they moved out to LA and their lives are just kind of going nowhere, and they mistakenly, one of them mistakenly reads an Evite to a masquerade ball as a costume party.
Right.
So they dress up as cops, they get laughed at, they leave the party, and then everybody starts thinking they're cops.
Because they're wearing like official uniforms kind of a thing.
Yeah, and the Nick character, the white guy, Nick and Justin are the two characters. Nick goes, screw it, let's pretend to be cops. Let's take full advantage of this. And he goes way out there, and he like buys a car, you know, full on uniforms. He puts on a patch. Yeah, he starts looking up tutorials on YouTube how to do stuff.
Right.
But so and then the plot kind of starts after they have a little bit of fun. Now, we won't really go into that though. But I gotta say that it was funny. I laughed throughout the film, but I gotta say it was a very average film to me.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't,
well, like just in general of a film or as a comedy?
In general, I personally, so right off the bat, I'll definitely say I would rent this film. I wouldn't go check it out in cinemas. It's not really worth that. Yeah. But if you gather some friends around, popped in the Blu-ray and watched it, y'all be highly entertained.
Even if you took a bunch of friends to go see this movie, it's a lot better when you have a whole audience to laugh with you.
Yeah.
Instead of sitting in your basement like.
But yeah, I gotta say, I had some problems with the story as a whole. Tonally, I felt that it was kind of uneven. And beyond that, the characters were very flip-floppy. Like, they didn't really toe the line for what their archetype should be the whole time. And then when they did have their change of heart moment, they changed for like one little thing, but then they went back to being the way their character normally is. So the characters didn't really feel all that solid. Now, in a comedy, I guess you don't really have to think about characters that hard, but it would have been nice if the characters had been better fleshed out, in my opinion.
I don't know, but you look at any other comedy, no characters fleshed out like at all.
I could throw up some examples that would disagree with
but
you
for
there.
every example you can give, there's like 30 examples
that aren't funny. But this is Let's Be Cops is funny.
Yeah.
I will say that it does succeed at being funny. It's got some weird tonal shifts. The end I don't think works as well as it should have. It runs into that problem that I have with a lot of comedies, although not to a horrible degree, where the first 2/3 of the movie are ha 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 way hilarious, and then the last third like, oh, serious time. I have a problem with that, especially with a premise this outlandish.
Yeah, I mean, that's how almost every comedy movie ever goes.
Yeah, but I think at this point we need to move beyond that.
Yeah, but it works. People buy this stuff.
I don't care if they buy it or not. The problem is we have movies out there like The Heat. The Heat was funny throughout the whole movie. The Heat really worked the entire time, even when they got to the more actiony scenes. It was very funny.
They still made jokes and stuff during the actiony scenes.
Not as much as they could.
Not as much in the beginning, but there was a lot of serious stuff happening.
Beyond that, I will say, surprisingly, there wasn't as much of them dicking around as cops as I would have expected.
Yeah.
Like all of the stuff they showed in the by the way, no stinger, or at least the version we saw, no stinger. There are a few extra scenes they put in the credits,
like in the very beginning.
But they're in the very beginning. You'll if you don't stand up immediately, you'll totally see them.
Yeah.
And I think those credit sequences should have been in the movie.
Yeah.
And they should have cut out a lot more of the main plot. I felt like the movie actually kind of started to drag near the second act. It felt a little long to me.
Yeah, and I don't think the love scene, like the whole love part of it, because there's...
You mean the subplot?
Sure. Like the...
Okay.
The romantic
it didn't
aspect
work.
of it?
Yeah, the
it's
romantic
not that it didn't
subplot.
work, it's that it didn't need to be in there.
Yeah.
They could have just been friends or something.
It did feel a little
and
forced.
It would have been a lot easier, I think.
Yeah. But as I said, I definitely think it's totally worth renting it. You definitely don't need to see it in cinemas.
But I definitely recommend seeing it.
Yes. Very, very high. I would very highly recommend you go out and red box this when it comes out.
It gets the Adam stamp of approval.
All right. So yeah, that's our review of Let's Be Cops. Any final thoughts there?
We got to go to the press release of it.
Or something. We don't know at this point.
Early. We got to see it earlier.
Yeah, woo, or something. We won't give exact time and place because we might get in trouble.
It's
whatever. Shh. Anyway, so yeah, that's midnight review of Let's Be Cops. Do not forget to tell us what you think when you go out and see it. Tell us. We need to know. My very life depends on it. I have cancer. And if you don't tell me what you thought of the film, my cancer will actually grow and eventually kill me.
Slander.
So tell me what you thought. Anyway, go ahead and click the subscribe button right there. It's right there. Right there. Just click it, please. Also, rate up the video. Don't forget about that. But our channel is at www.youtube.com/glassfilmshouse.
Yeah, they're already there.
Yeah, but that's the overall channel. Yeah. Then there's the Facebook page, facebook.com/glasshousefilms. Also, don't forget to follow Twitter at glasshousefilms. Till next time, everybody, stay tuned.